ports of Libya are among the nation's most important assets. They are the gauge through which Libya trades with other countries. Libya's progress depends in great measure on its ports. Flags of many nations fly from the ships that come to Libya, bringing what Libyans need and taking away what Libyans sell. Libya is blessed with three major international seaports: Benghazi in the east, Tripoli in the west, and the new man-made oil port at Marsa Brega on the Gulf of Sirte. Tripoli today is a bustling modern city, the largest center of commerce and trade in Libya, and one of the busiest ports in all North Africa. Every Libyan seaport has its individual character and history. Tripoli traces its heritage back more than 3,000 years to its days as a trading and market center for the ancient Phoenicians. Vestiges of Tripoli's glorious past can be seen everywhere, written proudly. But the heart and pulse of the port is in her wharves and piers. It is here that much of the material and equipment needed to build Libya's expanding economy is unloaded and carried inland. During the past year alone, over 1,000 ships delivered more than 2 million tons of cargo to Tripoli port. Today, as the nation's industry and commerce expand, construction creates increasingly heavy demands for materials not always available in Libya. This cargo of Tunisian cement will soon find its way into the hands of skilled Libyan workers who are building for Libya's future. Necessities arrive in the ports of Libya daily from many countries. All of these products contribute to the rapidly rising living standards of the Libyan people and help ensure Libya's continuing progress as an independent nation. Heavy equipment of all kinds comes to Tripoli by ship. Lumber, steel pipe for the oil industry, farm equipment, tools and spare parts, all enter Libya through her busy ports to serve the needs of an industrious people. But every nation must pay for what it needs by selling its own products to other nations. Libya has long sold olives and oranges, dates and other goods to help pay for the things it buys. Hides, too, have been exported from Libyan ports since ancient times and still pass over the Tripoli piers. The port of Benghazi, more than 1,000 kilometers east of Tripoli, was renowned as a bitter battleground of the Second World War. Today, with the major damage of war long since repaired, Benghazi is a thriving modern port. Although it cannot yet handle the large vessels and heavy cargoes which unload at Tripoli, the port of Benghazi is vital to the Libyan economy. Benghazi still retains the charm of the quiet centuries of the past amid scenes of modern progress. And a vast government-sponsored improvement project is enlarging and modernizing the harbor facilities needed for the future. Old shipwrecks are being removed. Dredging and seawall construction are all part of Benghazi's new port program. of huge boulders and concrete supports used to construct a new seawall are gradually adding greater dimensions to Benghazi Harbor. When the work is completed, the Benghazi port will be able to accommodate large, deep-water freighters, which could not even enter the old inner harbor. South and a little to the west of Benghazi, at the head of the Gulf of Sirte, lies Marsa Brega, Libya's new oil seaport and one of the most unusual in the world. Entirely man-made, the harbor and marine terminal at Marsa Brega were constructed by Esso Libya to load the oil tankers which now regularly carry Libyan oil sold to European oil refineries. Marsa Brega is bustling with activity today, and her construction during the past 3 years created many new jobs for Libyan workers. When work began in 1959, there was only the wind, the desert, and the sea. Now a great new port is nearing completion. Esso storage tanks mark the Marsa Brega terminal. Here, too, is the end of the pipeline which carries Libyan oil 170 kilometers under the desert from Zelten to the sea. When the red flag is raised at Marsa Brega, it means only one thing: a thirsty tanker is ready to load oil. Newly trained Libyan oil workers at the control valves rapidly prepare to service the waiting ships. Every one of these young men is doing a highly specialized job. Meanwhile, harbor tugs from the Esso terminal have put to sea to assist the tanker in tying up securely. Rough seas are common at Marsa Brega, and seamanship of the highest order is required of harbor crews in the ordinary course of their work. For these courageous Libyan seamen, a wild ride on a plunging buoy is all part of the job. The Esso pilot can relax once the tanker is safely at its mooring and the work of the harbor tugs is temporarily finished. A modern Norwegian supertanker is typical of the many ships which carry Libya's oil to European buyers. A Libyan crew starts and controls the oil flow through giant undersea hoses hooked to the tanker. Every barrel of oil is accurately measured as it leaves Libya for its final destination abroad. The construction of Marsa Brega in only 3 years is a source of pride to the men who made it possible. It is also an accomplishment of great importance to the entire Libyan nation. From the growing harbor at Benghazi to the unique Esso-built terminal at Marsa Brega to the busy piers of Tripoli, the story of the international ports of Libya illuminates the industry and progress of a great new nation, its proud heritage, and its faith in a peaceful and prosperous future.